The first one is what are the chances of getting control of our public lands if that's the law? And then the second, kind of related, is we have trillions of dollars, hundreds of trillions of dollars in resources. What do we do next to get our lands back?
Great questions. We get what we tolerate. Frederick Douglass made the statement that power never concedes anything without a demand. It never did and it never will. And if we're willing to tolerate the fact that we have all the resources in the world to be first rate, exceed even North Dakota in educating our children, we can, but it depends on if we're willing to tolerate it. John Stossel was here last year, and we were talking to him about this, and he said, you people in Utah, you're never going to get your lands back. He says, you're too nice. He says, the federal government controls 70% of your land, and your response is, well, kind sir, we respectfully disagree. He says, sometimes in the political debate, you have to get louder. This is an injustice on an enormous scale. I liken it to when Dred Scott stood before the Supreme Court and held out his hands and said, am I not a man? And at that time in our history, the Supreme Court said, no, you're not. But the people refused to accept that and said, that's ludicrous. And today we look at that and think, how absurd that at one point in our history we would say, Dred Scott is not a man. Well, when you look at this map, I mean, you just look at the map. It's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. And when you look into the law and the history, it justifies what we're doing. Now, there are people that are invested in the status quo. I learned early on that just because something has always been done that way does not mean that it's not colossally stupid. This is colossally stupid, and our children are suffering, our forests are suffering, our wildlife is suffering, our air quality is suffering, our watershed management is suffering, because we continue to go along with something just because it's always been done that way. So, when you get your communities, your Avon Club, your Bridge Club, your Chamber of Commerce, your city, your county to do these resolutions supporting Governor Herbert, they're coming in from all over the state now. You get behind your representatives and say, no matter what, you take risks and get out in front of this, and we're going to back you up. When you begin to exercise your power in this incredible system of government that we have, that gives us power right down to the individual and neighborhood level, then we'll succeed. And the fact that we're now joining with other states like they did in the 1850s to succeed, we're following that same model, but we need your help. I have to take off, but I'm going to leave these things behind. Please get on the email list. If you have ideas and want to help and want to get involved, please get a hold of us. This thing is building all over the West, but it takes every one of us to do our part, and that's the beauty of our system. It is a republic of republics, each of whom are charged with the duty of securing these inalienable rights to life, liberty, and property. And we've got work to do. Thank you very much.